Smart reinvented itself. Launching the Smart #1 demanded creativity. We were tapping into new audiences and marketing it in a new way, direct to consumer, starting with the European announcement of the new #1, building brand awareness and enticing early adopters to reserve their seat. Throughout the campaigns, we sought to capture leads, centering the customer journey around Smart's own platform through search, social, display marketing, and email nurturing, using creative automation to roll out a multitude of diverse assets. The result? Increased awareness across a variety of media, increased brand consideration, increased purchase intent. 11% proceeded to pre-order a #1, 3 times the benchmark. This is Smart.
This is a new way of talking to all of you. So, Praveen, thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely.
That's a great video. We'll come to that in a little bit. But to start with, let's start with what is your definition of personalization? What do you think is personalization?
Personalization does has a broad definition, but my definition would be what I understand is personalization sits in between the experience and the data. The data feeds or complements the personalization, and in turn, the personalization complements the great experiences. The better the data, the better the personalization, the better the experiences.
That's true. Isn't that a feedback loop, right? The more data you have, the better interaction you can have with customers. The better interactions you have with customers, the better data you collect. I mean, this feedback loop, I think, is what keeps personalization going. So let's dive right in. Let us go to my first question. When you started on this whole endeavor of Smart, dwelling into this from offline to online sales, in a traditional, in a channel which has been traditionally offline, like selling cars, what was the North Star that you defined?
So in the year 2020 or starting 2021, we have introduced a car model called Smart #1. That's the model, and it has got different lines based on the different European markets. Our idea was simple. We want to get into the space of the future generation mobility, offer to our existing Smart audiences, and as well as explore new audiences. For that, we have a great strategy and great technology in place. In fact, in Germany, we have got live, anyone, German audience can buy the car. When it comes to the Netherlands, I think you can pre-order the car as of now. But at the end of the November, you should be able to buy the car. But nonetheless, Smart #1 would be the North Star, I would say, to start with.
Fantastic. So this, I'm sure, is a never-ending goal, dealing with customers who are used to now a new way of interacting on the web. That's a challenge we love, right?
Yes.
And we at Dept have been involved in this journey with you right from the start. So can you just touch upon a little bit about your marketing acquisition and the lead nurturing process that you today follow and the kind of tools that you're working with?
Sure. So we have the product awareness strategy in place, the brand awareness strategy in place, the sales awareness strategy in place as and when we go live into the markets, and the search engine optimizations. So we have quite good presence in this social media and as well as the social events where Dept has helped us a lot. So this is exactly where we generate a lot of traffic to our website. This is the first step of our marketing acquisition. Now, within the website, we do offer subscription models as and when the user subscribes to one of our offerings, and then this user or this audience gets into the lead nurturing process. So this is typically how we do the market acquisition and lead nurturing process.
Brilliant. And this slide, if you look at this, the process of going from anonymous to a customer and then harnessing that customer's data to reach out to them further. I mean, in today's day and age, when a lot of people, when car is a very aspirational thing, when people have one car, they want to buy a higher model car. So to retain a customer's interest in a particular car brand is a challenge today. So even after you made a customer, to keep on selling something to the customer, to keep that relationship going, to keep the engagement going, I mean, that part of business that Smart has sort of embarked upon, I think that's a great challenge, and that's something that we should also talk about. I mean, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Yep.
So having said that, now on a scale of 1 to 10, if I had to ask you, what is the digital maturity of Smart today? Where have you reached so far in this process?
Good question. I mean, we do a lot of complex use cases because we are in Europe, meaning different disclaimers, different languages, different assets, so on and so forth. In that context, specific to this lead nurturing, we do a lot of complexes, and we are quite matured, I would say, at this point of time. But overall tech stack, when you look at when we want to shift from personalization to hyper personalization, we have a lot to do. So in that maturity sense, we are not there yet.
That's interesting. Personalization to hyper personalization. Everybody's trying for hyper personalization. It's difficult to define what hyper personalization exactly is, but I think it's a little bit contextual to business as well. So, and on that note, let us go to the tech stack and let's talk a little bit about the tech stack that you have at Smart, shall we? There you go.
So this is the tech stack what we have. I will also touch a bit of a maturity in relation to our tech stack. If you see at the left side, we have engagement, orchestration, insights, and data. This different technology or Adobe solution supports us in different the left side parameters for us. But let me start with the experience manager, where it is our centralized component for all our digital asset managements, media asset managements, and as well as brand asset managements. This is the component where we supply all our digital assets across the channels. At the moment, this is a pretty, manual process. But in the next year, Q1, with the entry of this workfront component, we would like to automate all this content supply chain management end to end. So this is the maturity we want to drive starting next year. So that's one part. Now coming up to the Adobe Experience Platform, which is our centralized brain, where we gather all the information from offline, online, just as you mentioned, the mobile metrics, the events, the offline touch points. We just bring all the information here. So this year, we have quite stabilized our CDP with the B2B module. Again, the next year is we would like to explore into the B2B space and see how a CDP is working to our use cases. We have a journey optimizer where we leverage all our kind of lead nurturing on our native channels. So this year we just use email and SMS and the phone as a kind of our channel touch points, but again, planned is in-car notifications, web as a channel, and as well as the mobile app push notifications is what we will be enabling on the fly. Wow. Left side, we have a customer journey analytics, which gives a lot of insights for us. But I think what my goal is to have a complete end-to-end funnel, the upper funnel and the lower funnel, everything insights developed into the customer journey analytics, all the data coming out of the CDP Adobe Experience Platform. That is again planned for the next year. We have targets which we want to utilize for the website personalization as well as for the lead generation.
Brilliant. So the whole stack is here, right? So let's just spend a little bit more time on the stack, because this, for me, is the most interesting implementation. I've been doing Adobe for like 15 years now, and this is one of the most interesting implementations that I've seen in my life, right? Because it touches across all the 4 levels, and all the 4 levels have been started at the same time. We practically made the site live, dwelled into the CDP part of it, started at the customer outreach. So the whole process of acquiring customers, that is building your platform, then started to acquiring data using the CDP, bringing about analytics to capture the insights, using those analytics to perform right segmentation mechanisms, using the real-time customer profile to trigger activations using AJO and traditional channels. The whole loop, what fascinates me that this is not a one-time loop. This loop doesn't end, right? So the ability to and if you look at this carefully, I remember one of the conversations that we had when we started the project is that how can we replace an offline relationship manager with our online digital platform, because an offline relationship manager continuously keeps on deepening the relationship with the customer. First the customer. And I also remember distinctly what we spoke about, that first time I meet the customer, I'll ask for the name. Second time I meet them, I'll ask them about their family. Third time I meet them, I'll get my relationship deeper and deeper, so that I'm able to sort of convince the customer, understand the customer preferences better, and make the sale accordingly, right? And to emulate that behavior onto a platform requires so many moving pieces. We already spoke about sort of the whole process from customer or rather outreach to the customer, to getting the customer into the platform, to re-engaging the customer with the platform. But the underlying automation part of it that comes with Workfront, or the deeper analytics that we build in, a more minute segmentation that we built in using a customer journey analytics like platform, that's the key aspect, I think, that creates that deeper relationship with the customer, that we are able to, with every engagement with the customer, able to offer them something better.
S-
Right?
So
I
in
mean,
the B2B space, still it's a kind of a lot of manual process.
sure.
B2C is still a kind of digitalized a lot, but this is exactly what next year we would be exploring how we can automate this and help our key account managers.
Absolutely. And the fun part is that a challenge that we have, that if we've reached a maturity level where we know that a customer has a dog, right? And they are looking to have this kind of they are looking a feature in a car that it is dog friendly, easy to clean, enough space for the dog.
Right.
How do we bring that out in front of that customer instead of telling them about speed or power or something that is second priority to them, right? So how do we sort of engage the customer with the kind of features that they are practically interested in? And this could be used both ways, right? If I like a dog, you show me a video of car with a dog, and but nevertheless, that's what we do in real life. We try to bring forth, while making a sale, the process of ensuring we present the product in the way a customer would like it. I think emulating that behavior would be phenomenal here.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, going further from here, I'm sure all of this has not been easy. So, top 2 or 3 learnings that you can share with us today.
Absolutely. I think we have also learned a lot from our previous sessions. So from the smarts perspective, there are 2 things what I would like to highlight here is the skills and the collaboration. Again, this is very specific to smart. So when we have started this project with the big bang approach of a latest technological, we had no competencies in the initial stages. So it's really difficult to really get benefits out of the present technological stack we have, because we never knew what is the capabilities. But that's exactly is my job as well in the smart, where I would try to improve the skills and the competences within the smart. The skills is one part what we at smart we have faced. Second part is the collaboration, which means Smart has not started never taken a baby step. It was a big bang approach, which means we want to develop the CRM system, e-commerce, web analytics, web page development, CDP, everything at the same time. And the expectation is that everything runs in symphony once it goes live, but that's not the case in real life. So we miss a lot of what you say microservices kind of collaboration. Hey, that is not working. This is not working. So the collaboration was the biggest piece. Again, we have learned in a hard way. We're also kind of improving in this both fronts.
That's true. But we've seen it both ways, right? We've seen implementations where customers had a very well-established IT system in place, for example, a CRM that is working well across the board. But they were so resistant to change that developing something that suits the modern age digital stack was very difficult, right? So in a way, I think there are both advantages and disadvantages of going big bang, that you have to synchronize, bring everything together, have everyone working in sync, but it also gives you the ability to fine tune different aspects of your business, and go move in the positive direction on all fronts,
Yep.
right? So I mean, given a choice, if a customer is implementing all of these like smart, if all of them together, that would excite me a lot, right? I mean, I would want to see how is it that we can touch or evolve maximum number of pieces of the tech stack
Sure.
at the same time.
Sure.
All right. So on that note, here's the QR code. So you can look at the latest smart offering if you scan the left-hand side QR code. And you can look at our case study on how we've made this smart story successful. How have we implemented so many different products from AJO, analytics, target, and AEM, and the whole 9 yards of Adobe Stack, now Workfront. How I bring all of it together. That's what you can see from the QR code on the right-hand side. And I know we can't listen to any questions, but I'll ask you a question. Which is your favorite Adobe product?
I would say CDP. The more I know about this product, the more I'm in love with this product, to be honest, because that also gives me a lot of insights digitally, what you could do, the capabilities, and digitally what one could do. So that would be I would say, the go-to product.
Fantastic. Thank you, Praveen. You've been great and very candid at answering everything that I asked. And thank you, everyone, for listening in. Really appreciate the kind of your presence here. With 20 seconds to go, we are done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.